All right, guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go actually into the contact card, and I'm going to show you all the different pieces of the contact card, what you could do with it. Okay. So if I click into this sample contact right here, you will see that this opens up this section right over here. Okay. So it's incredibly important to note that contacts have what's called owners, and you need to make sure that you are the owner of the contact. So you will see right here that there is the assign to button. If you haven't watched the video of how to assign every contact to yourself, please make sure that you watch that first. Otherwise, anytime that you create a contact, it'll be unassigned. And what ends up happening when the contacts are unassigned is if you send an email and you have a user email signature, it won't pull that. So you need to make sure that the contacts are assigned to yourself inside of the system. Okay, but on the contact card, here we have the contact. Over here, we have what's called the contact fields. Okay, and the contact fields are going to be name, email, phone number, date of birth, and we have our custom fields, and these are fields that I have personally added into the system or that might come default with the CRM that you have. If you have the loan officer version, you have this here. If you have another version, your fields might look a little bit different, and that's okay. So fields can be added, and fields you can actually go ahead and select these. Let's say that you're in the middle of, let's say that you have your system built out and you want to have your flow. You can actually build your flow inside of the contact card, so that way you can just answer people's questions just like I did with that little radio button. So I'll show you guys in a separate video how to add those contact fields. But here we have this left-hand side. If you scroll down past the contact field section, we have the actions. And so here you will see that there is the contact tags. And so I can go ahead and add different tags directly to this contact. I can take away tags by clicking on the exit button right here. So again, tags are how we segment leads. So if I have a client, let's just say that is a real estate agent, an investor, a borrower, I would add the tags here. So that way I could determine what type of contact they are. Okay. Now, be careful with tags sometimes, because sometimes automations will fire based on tags that are added. Typically, I don't build my automations to fire on contact tag added. The only one that I do have built is the cold call. So if I added the tag cold call, it would add them to a power dialer. But other than that, there isn't really too much that you need to worry about unless you're building automation that triggers based on tags being added. Okay. Below this, we have this little folder that is automations. So you'll see I just added the contact tag, which then added them to this specific workflow. But you will see on this specific section right here, all of the past client workflows will be located at the bottom, and then all of the active workflows that the contact is on will be added right over here in the active tab. Okay. Now, this is incredibly important to note. We can add them to automation by clicking on the add and then selecting the time that we want the workflow to fire, and then we can add them to a specific workflow that we've built. Okay. Now, in addition to that, what we can also do you see this little button right here? So if you're like, dang it, what the heck is this workflow, right? I want to know what this workflow is, and I want to see their execution path right to the left of the X button. I can click on that, and that will open up the new tab on this right-hand side, and this will actually open up the exact automation that they are in and their contact execution path. So that way you can kind of see, okay, this person has been added to the workflow. Here's where they are. I can now go into the builder and see, okay, this is the cold call workflow, right? So again, there's some really cool things that you could do specifically from the contact tag. I have a couple clients that have past workflows, and it's like 17 workflows full. So again, workflows are really awesome. Anytime that we exit a workflow right here, if I remove them, it will be added to the past workflow. So that way you can see all of the different execution paths that a specific contact has taken. Okay, opportunities. So from here, you can see that we can add them to the specific pipeline section. So if I go here, I can click on this button right here and I can see, okay, there's this contact, here's the opportunity that she is associated with, and I can do everything from the opportunity section directly from the contact card versus going into the pipeline stage. So again, there's a lot of different stuff that you could do from this contact card on this left-hand side. Now we also have client portal, which allows for you to, if you build any sort of like offers or community groups or anything like that, you could add them to the client portal here. And that D&D section, for instance, if I'm like, oh shoot, I want to, D&D SMS messages because this is a bad number, I would go ahead and enable the D&D section. You'll see that I can no longer text this client. No messages will fire from the system. Okay. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and say Jonathan at test.com. Here we go, and click save. Let's do a quick refresh, because from the contact screen, you can do a number of other things. Okay, let's go ahead and assign myself as the owner right here. Okay, so you can assign followers. So we're going to get into the middle section right here. And this section is extremely important, especially when it comes to communication as well as teams. Okay, so here's the owner. I'm the owner of the contact. I own this contact, but let's just say that I have my assistant and I want to add my assistant as the follower. I can go ahead and select them as the assistant. And so they can now see this contact. So again, the follower section, if you want to give this person visibility to this contact, you would add them as the follower here. You can have multiple followers. What this does is this just assigns visibility. And let's just say I want to go ahead and disable visibility. I could take them off right here. Okay. Now you will see on this particular contact, this person called. I can track my inbound calls. I can track my outbound calls. I can track all of my text messages from the system. So this is where you are going to see your full client communication. I can send emails and I can send all of my text messages right here. So you will see that there is an SMS message right here. If I wanted to go ahead and text the client, I can say, hi there, and then click on the send button, or I can schedule send SMS messages for later. You'll see right when I do that, this opens up this screen right here, and I can send it or send schedule. Okay, so my phone number is not HTTP approved. It didn't work, but that's okay. So again, from here, you can schedule send SMS. You can attach files. You can insert pre-made messages, and you can do a whole lot more, like add a bunch of different information. Okay. We also have the email section. So if you have an email inside of the client card and you wanted to go ahead and send an email directly from the CRM, you can do so. So, hey there, sending an email, and click send, and that will then send an email, which will then go ahead and enter that right here into the system for you to be able to see, hey, I have all of my client communication that has been done. I could see that I sent this email and that went through the system. Okay. You can also reply to emails directly from the platform, and you can also see all the different details. Okay, this was an outbound email that was sent. I don't know if it was delivered or not because that says unknown, but you should be able to track all of your deliverability messages right here as well. Okay. Now, we also have the internal comment, okay? Internal comments are awesome. Think of this as if you wanted to tag a team member to let them know, hey, Jonathan just tried reaching out to you. You can click on the internal comment and you can tag them right here. Just left a message for so-and-so and click the send button. That now adds this comment to the contact card. Okay, so you'll see right here, Jonathan added a comment that is inside of the message history. Okay, so if you're planning on doing any sort of notes, my recommendation would be to check out the internal comment. You can just say left voicemail. I do all my notes that are action based directly inside of the conversation history here. I do all my contact notes on this section. And I'm going to stop this video right here because I'm going to show you guys this section on this right-hand side. I just want to make sure that this one doesn't go on for too long. Thanks.